Hi folks, Dr. P here, and I'm going to talk about something that is a bit off the subject perhaps of game design, but not entirely. And that is my dog and the game the dog invented. We have had a dog for about 5 months. We wanted a walking companion for my wife because I'm not quite up to walking miles with her with a bad back and arthritis and so on. So we got a big dog. And he seems to be a pretty smart dog. And one of the things we found is that he invented a game which I call the ragbone game. We had rag bones, which are bones made out of cotton, twisted up in the shape of a bone. And he loves them, and unfortunately he tears them up quite quickly. And the little bits that he tears off are not a good idea to get down in his stomach, so we have to take them away from him most of the time. But usually in the morning, he will give us to understand he wants to play the ragbone game. Nowadays, he picks up his big bone and carries it around. And since that is kind of hard on the floor when it hits, and we do this inside, we get out the ragbone and give it to him, and he runs away with it because the ragbone game is kind of a chase game. So he runs away somewhere, and then he chews it, and we sneak up and try to take it from him, and sometimes we succeed, sometimes we end up in tug of war, sometimes he gets away and runs off, but occasionally he will come and hold it near us to give us a chance, or run by us to give us a chance to grab it. So you get the idea of the game. Now, there are no written rules, but clearly there are rules in Ranger's mind and there are rules in our mind, so we can call it a game. Now, there are a great many things that we can call games that don't really have game design to speak of. I mean, the dog is smart, but the dog is not a game designer. Nonetheless, he originated this game. But it's not a game that you could sell to anybody. It's not a game that other people are likely to participate in until a human explains it to them. There are lots of games like that. You can make a game of that sort out of almost anything. Hot dog eating, for example. Penny pitching. Who can get the penny closest to the wall after bouncing it off the wall? And so forth. There's very little game design in those things, and yet many people will call them games. But they're not games that are played in the same sense that tabletop games or video games are played. This is why I try to work on definitions of games and understanding different types of games, because to some people, any form of play is a game, and that's just not useful for any kinds of discussion. And of course, I would contend that there are many forms of play that are not games. But anyway, some people think of any time they're playing that they're playing a game, whatever it is. So that's about all I have to say about it. Yes, the dog invented a game. Yes, we play the game. But it's not a game in the sense of a tabletop game. Thanks for listening.